if a missile is coming from anywhere in China or certain West Asian nations or some ASEAN nations as well, India will be able to counter it?
Of course, that is the technology being developed. Whoever has come inside, if they've come from across, they will only go back in body bags.
Welcome to Game Plan. It was on this show over 1 year ago that we informed you that India is preparing its own S-400-like air defense system, like the Russian S-400. And now, official statements are surfacing on India's indigenous ballistic missile defense system. What features will it have? What will be its capabilities? That is what we'll discuss on Game Plan. We'll also discuss the uptick in terror attacks in India's Jammu region, as a former police official has now claimed that these attacks are in fact being carried out by Pakistani SSG commandos. To discuss India's national security interests, we're being joined by retired Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhadauria. Sir, pleasure having you here. Welcome to Game Plan. The current test that has been successfully conducted by DRDO, which was against a ballistic missile of 5,000 kilometer class, and that means, and I want to understand from you, that means that if a missile is coming from anywhere in China or certain West Asian nations or some ASEAN nations as well, India will be able to counter it?
Of course, that is the technology being developed. That is the whole purpose of developing that kind of technology and being able to, address targets of that nature. And greater depth into what exactly are the specification where we are headed is best not discussed.
I understand, and we respect that fully. Sir, any inputs that you can share with us on the strategic areas of deployment for the surface-to-air missiles and the air defense systems?
Areas of deployment, Indian Air Force would have assessed the threat areas and where. We can safely, presume that our interests on the western side and more so on the northern side with the northern adversary will be well covered. That is part of the scheme of the first 5 squadrons that are planned for S-400. And in coordination with that, this system would get deployed further and cover the other areas of interest. So specifics I will not go into, but be rest assured that it will give us a huge capability jump in terms of, air defense of the entire areas and having a multi-layered defense capability, which is very, very critical. And you must also realize that when we develop an indigenous system from the word go, it will be integrated into our IACCS. That's our command and control center, yes, which is fully integrated. And that is one of the big advantages. You mentioned how good or how capable it would be. I think that would give it a unique capability of being totally integrated from the word go into our entire other aspects of air defense, and be able to utilize the synergy that comes by integrating the systems in the command and control setup.
So, if we were to now shift focus to India's northern front, and this is the second part of the discussion which I wanted to have with you. This is regarding the Jammu and Kashmir region. Now, there has been a recent uptick in terror attacks that India is facing on this front. And specifically, if you were to pin it down to a date, it started on the 9th of June and then has been on since then. The uptick I'm talking about. And Rajouri, Poonch, Doda, Kathua, Udhampur, Rayasi and other areas of the Jammu division have seen several terror attacks since then. What is the reason behind the sudden upticks and anything that you can share with us?
No, well, quite clearly, Jammu has become the center for these upticks. Clearly, these terrorist acts are targeted to destabilize the region, and they're attempting to break the kind of development that has started to take place in Jammu and Kashmir, and to kind of spread fear and terror in this region. Jammu particularly was not so active earlier, and that is the new area that the terrorists are targeting. Of course, there are non-state actors behind this quite clearly, and there are state actors who are cooperating with the non-state actors to be able to conduct this, and then they will be dealt with very, very aggressively. And you can see that the government has taken very proactive steps to both to stop the infiltration and also to deal with these terrorists in the Jammu region, the entire region. Additional forces have been inducted, the border LOC areas have been strengthened, and they will be dealt with firmly.
So the former Director General of Police of Jammu and Kashmir, SP Ved, had made a revelation and claimed that over 600 SSG, Special Service Group commandos from the Pakistan Army, have in fact been earmarked, while some of them have already infiltrated into Jammu and Kashmir and they are the ones who are carrying out these terror attacks in the garb of militants or terrorists. What are your thoughts on this?
I've read those reports and some other similar sounding reports. I'm not sure, I'm sure the agencies who are responsible are looking into in depth all these issues, who are exactly behind. They're very capable. They will get to the bottom of it. But very importantly, the kind of training that these terrorists have got is of a high level. Therefore, there is an element of commando training and the training in this kind of warfare. The kind of weapons they're using, M4 carbine of US origin, they're using steel-tipped bullets. Their kind of communication they're using, so they've come well prepared. They've been trained well. Clearly, the non-state actors across and the state actors who are working and collaborating to make this happen. And also, to my mind, I think it is the frustrations of Pakistan Army that they are facing. I think they're at their lowest ebb in credibility within Pakistan itself, and probably this is the way of deflecting attention from that side too, by supporting these kind of actions within our territory. So the important point is that they are being dealt with firmly, and whoever has come inside, if they've come from across, they will only go back in body bags. That you be rest assured.
All right, Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhadauria, thank you so much for joining us right here on Game Plan. Always a pleasure speaking with you. And of course, our discussion is strictly within the ambit of information that needs to reach out to the public. Nothing extra has been disclosed, and we take complete responsibility in everything that we're carrying out and sending out to the public. And of course, there'll be lots more to discuss, keeping security issues in mind and being sensitive towards that respect. Thank you so much for joining in. That was RKS Bhadauria, India's former Air Chief Marshal.